Yeah, it was awful. And but that was.
Okay. Notice of this meeting in accordance with the Open Publics Meetings Law 1975 C 231 has been posted in two newspapers. The Record and the Ridgewood News have been notified. Roll call, please.
Handoff here. Roski.
Here.
Margolis.
Here.
Hart.
Here.
Pollak. Here. Mr. Stern is excused. Mayor Rendell.
Here. Pledge of allegiance.
With allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Approval of minutes, June 15th, 2026, open session. Is there a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes. June 15th, 2026, closed session. Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes. Motion to open to the public for anything concerning whatever you want to speak about.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
None opposed? Motion passes. Come on up, state your name and the town you live in. Thank you.
Leslie Maltz, Stratford Court, Woodcliff Lake. I have a problem in that I've been in town now for 16 years, and the water quality from Park Ridge has been substandard. We all know that. We all get the reports.
Right.
I've checked. Every adjoining town gets its water from what used to be Hackensack water.
Right. Veolia.
Right. Why can't we do that and get healthier water? Plus, we have the addition of all the additional residents who are coming under these various developments that we're being forced to do. We don't have enough water now. I'm waiting for the directive that says you can only shower on Tuesdays and Fridays because I can't water my lawn. I'm growing vegetables and hoping it rains.
Right.
But I'd really like to see us do something. The water company clearly is not doing anything, or at least nothing significant that's changing it. So I would like to see that as part of one of these deals that's being made with the developer, that they pay for the interconnection to the water company. And this way we all benefit in that we all get safer water to drink. The children get safer water to drink. Us old folks, I just turned 80 yesterday. Thank you. But I'd like to have the final years where I'm not drinking something that's going to do me harm. And since we are surrounded by towns that use that other water, it should be reasonably straightforward to connect to it through one of them.
Mhm.
And get us out of this problem of PFOAs and God knows what's in there of contaminants.
Councilman Pollak has been talking to was it Park Ridge?
Parker's Water.
Ridge Water.
As part of my council report, I'm going to give a full rundown. We just had Council President Stern and myself had a lengthy meeting with Park Ridge Water last week. So I've got an update on where we are, what they're doing, PFOA abatement, interconnect to the other water supply from, I was going to say American Water, Veolia in Montvale for overflow and those types of things. So if you stick around for a couple minutes, you hear that.
But it would be nice to be part of the bigger picture
Mhm.
and have safer water. And since we're going to have a high percentage of new residents, if we don't have enough water now, we certainly won't have enough water then.
Mhm.
I mean, I brought it up at the hearings that with that many more residents, it's going to create problems in many different ways.
Right.
So,
But this is one that affects all of us, not
Yes.
just the new people.
and I'll give an update as a teaser. The state of emergency.
You could just give it now.
Well, no, it's a long way.
I don't want to tease you.
I'll give you the whole thing.
Oh my
Stick around.
gosh.
Good, I was gonna whet the appetite a little bit.
Stuff that's drinkable.
Yeah, if you want to, on behalf of the borough, with
Oh my God, it comes from Park Ridge.
But maybe, Mr. Dan, maybe you could explain why we use Park Ridge Water or why we started to use Park. How long have we been using them? I don't.
Think, but Nicholas could tell us better, because it's been around since way before
Yep.
here. Now, the only thing, and I'm not trying to correct you, Leslie, I
Yeah,
know you said you looked at a couple of towns. The only other two towns out here that use Veolia is Montvale and Hillsdale.
Hillsdale,
Upper
Hillsdale, Upper Saddle River
Upper
and
Saddle
Saddle
River does
River.
not use Veolia. I live in Upper Saddle River. I have my own well. As do most of the towns, most of
I know most of the town does.
Most of that, most of
That's
the,
why I didn't buy there.
yeah, most of the homes have their own well. Saddle River, well, and septic, as do I. So, you know, not that it can't be done, I'm just trying to, so really out of the towns that surround us, half of them. You know, Montvale, which is a portion, and Hillsdale, the rest, Park Ridge, which we bordered more, and that agreement, I think it's been in place 50 years.
And
I'm
But
all
that-
right.
Age doesn't make it good.
No, I'm just telling you, she asked me to.
We're saying there has to be no reason.
And there is
One
apparently,
time.
and I don't know, I don't know, there is apparently a. Large cost less for Carthage water. as
Right
opposed
now,
to
we've
Veolia.
got someone else who's bringing in a lot more people and should be contributing to the welfare of the town, including those of us that are here. And if that means interconnecting over to the water company that isn't running out and isn't telling us shower only on Tuesdays, I think this is the right time to make that move.
Leslie, you're allowed to shower any day you want, just right now.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. I hate to have to go out in the street and wait for a truck to splash me. But seriously, I'm drinking the water, my dog is drinking the water, my relatives, my neighbors. I think it's time that we do something for the health of the entire community,
It doesn't-
including the new
It
people.
doesn't hurt to find out
Mhm.
and look at our agreement with Park Ridge and look at Veolia and. see
Our
what-
current contract,
And-
Ruining Ben's speech for later.
Okay.
I know. And Mayor, I'm suggesting this is the time because
Right,
as these developers want to do something,
a lot of people coming in.
there's a lot of people coming in and they've got equipment to be able to use to do something like this. And that's giving back to the town.
Ben is on.
So I think that's something to
No,
put
absolutely.
on the list of they can do for us.
I have all confidence in Mr. Pollock to look at
The other towns are also dealing with the PFOAs, like there's a lot of towns, I know where I live, too, I think there's a lot that
Yeah,
are
there's
dealing
a
with
lot,
that
like all of it.
aspect.
Yes.
But I've
Maybe
been,
not the water shortage.
I've been
but the-
looking every time I get one of those reports to see improvement.
You're not gonna.
There's
none.
but
There-
you're Orderly, I won't steal your.
You should have just given your.
You're. I'm
getting more to add to this. Get your pen ready, you're gonna, that's good, you know.
It's bad enough,
I lost that if you actually.
it's bad enough that I'm getting quotes to be able to purify our water
Mhm.
in our house.
Yeah.
So that we're not drinking that. I'm willing to go to that expense, but thousands of other residents shouldn't have to consider that.
No, we appreciate it.
I think you owe that to the town.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Higgins.
I hope everybody's having a good summer. Can I ask Nikki one question?
Just
When
state your
land-
name and
Oh, I'm
comment.
so sorry.
Yeah.
Josephine Higgins, Wycliffe Lake.
Thank you.
Nikki, you're on the land use board.
Yes.
Okay. How have they,
Question.
how have they prepared for the need that'll be for school, for water, for sewage, for traffic and stuff like that? Did they do a full study and have that in writing
For.
The project
for,
coming in.
for all the new stuff that's going
So
on?
every project that comes before has to do, there's a study for each project. It's a very comprehensive report, there's been experts, they all come, they testify. There's different experts about every component of it. Traffic is always a very big one, and then all the experts come, and then they're county roads, the county expert comes and the county says, there's no problem putting stuff on this road to which we have to say, okay, because it's a county road and the county says that that's the case. However, you know, we are going to try to look at Chestnut Ridge as a whole for those developments, because there's a lot going on that road. And the county keeps approving everything, but you know, in some places it's a 4-lane, like a 4-lane road. It's not a big highway, it's not, you know, especially with some of the stuff that Montville's doing, where they're putting a pad of retail, either retail already. It just seems like a lot on top of it, but as of right now, for each component of a project, we get a huge report and then we get to interview experts, and we have our own experts. So in addition to them providing experts, we always have our engineer and our planner at the meetings, and we have our own traffic study expert as well.
I just want to go over something that happened back in 1992, 96 when we became mayor. Do you all know where Craig Road is? That comes in up in what do you call it? Montvale. There was a problem. They were cleaning stuff and they couldn't get rid of the stuff that they had, which was very toxic. So somebody suggested, and you can look at the lawsuit if you want. I'm not going to go into it. You know, do one of these and start leaching the stuff in. And I was very happy to, as mayor, to receive this. And it took us years to get rid of the contaminating, to $250,000 per well to get that cleaned up. And I'm worried that if we don't watch these, the mayors, I remember meeting, don't meet and make sure there's not more of this stuff leaching down this way, that we are going to really contaminate our water system bad. And I think there's got to be some sort of meeting, at least with Park Ridge and Woodcuff Lake on their water supply. It has worked out in the past, but it's not, I don't think it's able to keep up with the level of pressure you need for fire departments. I remember going over that with the fire department and stuff like that. But now you're going to be getting more and more on top of that. And although we have mutual aid, I don't think it's going to be able to handle all of that. And so I was wondering, under land use board though, did they go over exactly how garbage will be removed,
Yes.
the water, the PFOA, all that?
So, yeah, so within the application, all of that information is included, and again, the experts really go through all of that. Usually with these developments, it's private garbage.
Okay.
So, like, once they're built,
Hmm.
They have private garbage. We don't, as a town, pick up their garbage. So we
You
just.
know, the BMW area is going for sewers. They're gonna have to put bigger sewer lines.
They are paying for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
being done.
That's
What?
not.
I know that, and they're paying for it. Yeah, I know that. Are there any others one up there? The Hilton, Party Store,
As of-
City?
as of- I mean, the one line,
Yeah.
is what is needed. We're not even sure, but the Hilton hasn't submitted their application, like, we're still waiting
Mhm.
for what that final plan is gonna
Mhm.
look like. So we don't have more information. Same thing with Party City, we have approval, but we haven't seen any plans from them. So until we get plans, we don't know how many units they're gonna have, how different it's gonna be. I mean, the Hilton was a hotel. And so what they were using for water and what those homes might need for water could be comparable. So again, until we review those plans and get how experts take a look at it, we're not sure. But when something like this comes up, if we feel like what's happening at BMW, if we feel that there is insufficient sewer line, we are, not responsible for making sure that there is going to be that, and that's on them.
Yeah.
We provided approvals, but they have certain things that they have to meet for approvals, including making sure that they have enough water.
Does our engineer make sure that, these buildings will be going on for quite a while now, that they will have sufficient enough water, sewage when this ends,
Post construction or during construction?
construction, or during the construction and after that, that they have all that they need. in
Yeah,
place.
so in order for them to get their permits, they need to prove that they will have sufficient water, when we issue permits, they have to. present their application, then comply with the application, so if they say that they're not enough water, then.
And also, so they had to get, certification, if you will, I'm not sure that's the correct word, from Park Ridge Water, they applied to Park Ridge Water, if you're talking about the BMW project. And they had to get, confirmation, if you will, from Park Ridge Water that they can provide the amount of water that's gonna be needed for.
Then if it turns out they can't.
Well,
Then,
no, I'm saying they have
They
got
have.
that, so that's what the engineers look at, that's what the, all those folks, nothing is approved unless it can be shown that it's needed, that's how we found out that the sewers. At first, they come in, they said, oh, we think this is, acceptable, that it'll work. And it was our engineers that said, whoa, wait a minute,
Right.
you're gonna need to expand this, and so that's why that was up, so.
because that was a,
County.
And also they have to apply to Burke County right now, like the sewer issue, those plans which are reviewed and. Confirmed or approved by our engineer, then go down to the BCUA, which has to make sure that they can. Accept that flow and the DEP,
mhm,
so that's where it is right now for that project.
okay. And just who oversees this as it's progressing? Our engineer, I know,
Our
and somebody,
engineer, yes.
but is there somebody that, makes sure
When
everything?
it all comes, and our engineer reports to our council on a
Yeah,
regular basis, that they are in touch with me. Probably more than I'd like, but that's part of the, no, but they're constantly in touch with our construction official, who has to oversee the construction part of it. Our redevelopment committee and the full council, when appropriate.
Okay, and you're on the school, are you the
School.
liaison to the school?
High school.
Not the high school, the grammar school area,
I'm on with
you are?
Joshua.
Okay, how's that gonna work out? Because the school doesn't go up in 2 days, it goes up in 2 years and stuff like that. How is that going to work?
So the current numbers based on a 10-year trailing average, we are about 100 pupils below capacity
Okay,
in sort of our estimates of capacity of that school. Now, there are studies, actually, Councilwoman Marsh, you could probably speak to the work that is done for estimates.
For what they're projecting.
Okay, yeah.
So when students come in, we're not expecting to have, we met with the high school, for example, and the high school told us that they have plenty of capacity, they're not concerned with development. The lower schools are concerned always. Right now, they do not have as many students as they've had in the past, but they are staffed for the number of students that they have. So even if the capacity is greater, they would still need to hire staff. This happens, however, when students come in over time. And what we're seeing is that when kids come in, it's not like you're gonna get kids who are all the same age.
right,
You get kids who are spanning the age, so the number of kids who come into each grade is not really a significant number. According to studies that the developers have done and that we've seen on our own also. Also, all the students that come in don't go to public school as well. So it really is hard to tell, but we are working closely with the school. And as the developments and as the students come in and as things progress, we're gonna make sure that us and the school are working together to see what adjustments need to be made and to make sure that our students, especially at our lower schools, are really accommodated and that our schools are well staffed and that there's plenty.
okay. Thank you for
Thank
more
you.
than 3 minutes. But just,
Come on up. But since the mayor went over, Bert, you have 1 minute. Joe took your minutes.
His has come down. Just state your name and the time.
He's the only guy that sits down though.
Bert Taylor, Woodcliff Lake. I have a comment first of all to Councilwoman Marsh. I was here with the Land Use Board. And I was here when I heard the traffic study that was done, which was 4 hours up on Chestnut Ridge Road on 2 Saturdays. That is pathetic if you're going to make a projection as to what you're going to need for the next 20 years. Even if we needed what we're going to do right now. I have a master's in quantitative analysis. I know what you do for a study. That's pathetic. I don't trust that study at all. That's a comment. Second of all, are you aware that there's a new, if I can get it up on my phone, in community news, there's a new, my wife has it right now, I can't
Is it
get
the new
it.
legislation with regards to
As-
the developers remedy? Like
Has to be with, developers exactly, and if
You're talking
they,
about the new Supreme Court opinion, New Jersey.
Supreme Court, exactly, exactly.
Your attorney could
Okay.
ask you a question. Yeah,
Good, all right,
it's positive for the municipalities, put it that way.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, if it fits in with what our plans are.
Correct.
And we need to review those and where we are. And I guess the other one is just a quickie question. What are we doing over at our sports fields for $750,000? That's a lot of money.
Mhm.
Are we putting up?
We-
Goals?
Get that dollar amount.
6,000,
Yeah.
$750,000.
Maybe $170,000.
$750,000 is $750,000, that's why.
$652,216. This is resolution.
We're going with the lower bid, which is 370.
Oh, well, this-
change.
This one authorizes that amount of money, so
No,
I can only,
Where,
I can only go by what I see right here. This is what,
resolution, remind me what's the number on it?
170.
this is resolution 26-173, July
Might be
20.
a mistake.
Says we're authorizing the amount of 650.
No, so what that's showing is that we received
Those are three
three
bids.
bids. So section A
Oh,
is
okay.
Keystone Sports Construction.
Got you. That is,
Instead of analysis, not a language.
gotcha. Okay, still, what are we doing for $750,000?
That's better. $750,000.
So we are going to turf the infield of Major Field. That's the bulk of it, and the reason why we're doing the renovations. The main reason is because the field is always flooding. Our kids' games have to be canceled, rescheduled, sometimes played in a neighboring town's turf field. Montvale, Westwood currently have turf fields. Hillsdale is currently going under a major renovation costing well over what we're spending is a drop in the bucket compared to what Hillsdale's spending to renovate their fields and turn them into turf fields. So no pun intended, it keeps us on an equal playing field. But it helps to upgrade our amenities and enables our kids to be able to play without having to be rescheduled and going to other towns.
I'm all for that. There are towns that have put in turf and have found a significant increase in injuries to the kids because their cleats get caught in that. So
Also, the issues that we're fixing Major Field or we're putting in turf, there are a lot of other fields that have to be upgraded as well. This is the first step to see how it works and if turf is the right answer, if not is not the right answer. The problem is that Wilkins Lake has a very high water table. So we're trying to figure out the best way to do it, but it's a lot of money. I think that we actually have to invest in all of our fields in some way or another. We have to do
Absolutely.
them all because this is a baseball field, we need to
Yeah.
help soccer, we need to help softball, we need to help, so that is, hopefully.
It's a first step, but
Yeah.
remember, it's also just the infield, it's not the outfield. And I think turf over time has changed a lot. It's improved a lot, and there has to be a reason why all these towns have already gone to turf and still continuing to go to it. I mean, Hillsdale, I think they're almost spending $6 million on all their fields.
I haven't stayed up with it, but I know at one point the kids were having significant problems with ankles where they were getting broken.
Yeah, it's,
Now that's from pickleball.
That's true.
Well, that's the adults.
but it has changed a lot. It has, and knowing exactly what, put where to wear and whatnot, it's changed a lot in the quality of the turf.
Okay, let's hope it works out. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyone else from the public? Come on up. Just state your name again and.
Sure.
Yeah,
Leslie Maltz, Stratford Court, Woodcliff Lake.
thank you.
I'd like to bring up something to your attention that I lived through prior to moving here. And it came up in something that Mayor Higgins brought up. And that's whether we have sufficient people watching what's going on with the development. I lived in a development where the watcher was rewarded for not watching terribly much and got a unit for nothing. And the watcher was not watching enough. And one of the buildings that should have been so many units high had 4 extra flights to it. Because he looked this way and that way. But I think we need to make sure that we have sufficient manpower, making sure that they are doing what they're supposed to and not a bit above what that is and not below what that is. This turned into a major fiasco, lawsuits, job losses, and certainly bad publicity for the town. So I'm urging you to be proactive in making sure that we're watching what's happening and not just saying they know what they're doing, leave them alone. They know what they want to do, but we have to keep their feet to the fire that says, this is what you are allowed to do, and these are the codes that you have to follow. So please make sure you have that, because a lot of us will be watching. After having been through that first episode, it got pretty obvious after a while.
Thank
So,
you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Being none, motion to close to the public.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
None opposed, motion passes. Okay, mayor's report. I have gotten,
The ordinance.
where, ordinances. Ordinance, public hearing, ordinance number 26-13, an ordinance amending the requirements of section 380-57A of the code of the Borough of Woodcliff Lake relating to creation of affordable housing units in the age-restricted housing overlay 2 district, ARHO-2 overlay zone. Motion to open to the public.
Motion.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? None, motion public, and motion passes. Anyone would like to speak on this ordinance only from the public? Being none, motion to close to the public.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Yeah.
Motion for adoption?
Motion. Second.
Okay.
Roll call?
Mr. Banana? Yes. Ms. Bronski?
Yes.
Margolis?
Yeah.
Smart? Mr. Polly?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now mayor's report. I've gotten a few inquiries, general maintenance issues around town. So let's take one property at a time. The property that consistently comes up is the gas station on Broadway. I've driven by there this weekend, drive by there a lot. It's getting worse, looks worse. So as a council, I'm asking that we take some further action. To me, it's an abandoned property. Nothing has been done on it. Plans have been submitted.
Mayor, just so you know, I went off on the attorney and Mr. Malik last week,
Okay,
and this morning, Mr. Malik came in to see me, as Mr. Mistake will tell you. And promised me that, yes, he's had some issues, but he will be beginning work by early next week. And he was, working with a contractor, because he has to shut off the water and all that. He didn't tell me exactly who it was. I think I know who it is, but I didn't want to say because it hasn't been verified, but he promised that he would be here no later than Monday to pull out those permits and begin cleaning out the building to begin the demolition shortly.
thank you for that. Thank you for that report, but I've heard that story several times.
You know what's being done.
Right. So if he says next week, let's see if he comes in next week. If not, next council meeting,
Well, and I, you don't want to need to wait until the next council meeting, because I've already advised our our property maintenance, that he is citing him for abandoned property and any citations. So if not, next Tuesday, Mr. Garcia will be issuing summonses.
okay, thank you. Second property, the carpet store. One of the inquiries I received is, it seems like there's people that moved in asking if they have their CO. There's no landscaping in the front. There's a fence up there. It looks pretty beat up. So, you know, where are we with that? I mean, these projects have moved very, very slow. And they're just sitting there and it just doesn't look good. So let's see if we could
I'll
follow.
check on that with the building department and construction controls in tomorrow. I'm not sure on the COs on that.
In, or is it the?
Is it the new people?
that
No,
they did
because,
renovate
No,
the
no,
one-
because the three that
It's the
were
top
not
one, I think.
redone continue
They
to live there, they
continue,
were
yeah.
allowed to,
Cause they
but I will have that checked out first thing tomorrow morning.
Third property is the old Woodcliff Manor. Again, that is, I believe, has been approved, right, Councilwoman Marsh? That was approved? They have everything?
They have been working on it. I agree with you, Mayor. I haven't seen much work in the last couple of weeks, but we will make a call on that also tomorrow.
We're dealing with issues in the parking lot
Oh,
about the
yes.
drainage, and they had to
That's
put in a whole.
Mhm.
and
That's right,
He
that's right.
had come in and he was telling us.
But I'll get an update from him and send it to them.
But, but Mayor, I will say that Mr. Trumbull was at our Spring Fest and they're equally angry that it has not moved.
Yes.
They want to get in there. They had originally told us that they would be, at least at the event, that they would be ready sooner. So I think that they
It
are
has been in,
earnestly working, trying to
But,
work towards the issue.
but we will
Something
check
with
on
the drainage in the parking.
Yeah.
lot.
There was.
It's a had none or something.
There
that
were
would
there were no drains in the lot.
Right.
The drain, they had to run, and so because it is a county road, they were waiting for something with the county because that's process.
But they could continue working inside the property and.
Well,
improving the
that, I
property,
think, I don't know how, no, I'm not a
Right,
builder, I'm
Yeah.
not a builder, so.
shouldn't stop the progress of the
But I know
project.
there's certain things that they can, I don't profess to those.
Well, let's see if we could just follow up with that.
Yes.
When are they estimating opening up? Is there any?
The last time he was here, it was gonna be like a while, it was like early.
December of 2020.
December 27th or spring 28th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the contractor just put on Facebook.
Wow.
I mean, we're lucky. Adelaide took a long time as well, but now,
Yeah, but they're,
now they're
Yeah.
here. It took a long time. to-
right, they're
Yes.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be Adelaide.
Sorry, Joe,
There's so anxious.
what kind of tax? Oil tax? Gasoline or oil tax? What do you mean, gas? We're talking about the gas station or the mountain? I don't know, but if there are, he's got a remediate that.
Right.
That's on him.
right.
Right now, we wanted to at least knock down that current building, you know, so that we have a nice sort of the move.
Okay, the fourth property,
Yeah.
fourth property, there was a recent, I received a recent email from a resident that neighbors Stacy Lane concerning the pond there again. We've been dealing with that. Just want to remind everyone that the pond is private property. The resident wanted us to work on it, dredge it, clean it. We can't do it as a municipality. That's private property. That's their responsibility. We've looked for solutions for the residents there. We've contacted the county. We've contacted the county health department to look at different types of avenues where we could give those residents some sort of relief concerning the pond. So it's very limited as what we could do, if anything at all. I know that property is for sale now. And whoever buys that property, that's their responsibility if they want to do something there or not.
There's still other owners within that pond.
Right.
Majority is that Almont South River.
Right. The only question was the water feeding that pond comes from a county brook. Or probably a state brook, right?
It's part of
Comes-
Mount Square. It comes
right.
from the
Comes-
Parkway and all the way, goes to the pond behind Joe's house.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we asked,
Never seen that.
yeah, I can't say that.
You can't say that. I'm trying to speak, but can't say that.
Yeah, we can't say that word.
Yeah. Say that.
Can't pronounce it. We don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah. So the issue there was maybe the county could do something upstream to clear the waterways or whatever, but we reached out to the county engineering department and it's in their ballpark. Yeah, it's in their, it's a private pond, so hopefully we could respond to that resident. And again,
We did have, last October, we had the county health department take a look, because they were complaining about the algae issue, and they explained that that's not a hazard. As a matter of fact, if you look at the reservoir, there's algae plants that were put there purposely, because that helps filter, I guess, certain things, so,
Right.
yeah, so, that's, you know.
Was it ever pristine or was it ever like?
I was told that years ago, folks would swim in there.
But also,
What?
And I skate
How many years?
Nice.
Rob Folke swam in
Oh,
that.
that was a long time ago, not a couple of years ago. Like 40 years ago.
my cousin grew up right next to it in the early 2000s. You could fish.
Even that, quick, even that early, that.
Sure, early 2000s, you know,
He's
Joe,
found.
Joe's been there 40-something years, so she would know that.
But Evansburg's
I
not
was
sewage,
Alright,
All right.
Any other properties?
No, that's it with the properties.
Property, could you just come up with another one?
Lightdecker's looking pretty, no. Let's forget about Lightdecker for now. And the final thing is today, yesterday I went to buy a nice bottle of Spanish wine to celebrate the Spanish national team's victory in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I went to our store here in Woodcliff Lake, Cambridge Wines. And unfortunately, they're closing up as of July 26th.
Yeah.
Sad that they didn't
I
make it.
do want to dispel a myth that I'm hearing around town. It will not be a marijuana dispensary, by the way.
Okay.
So,
Heard that.
so I did speak to, Marsh Realty, because I had heard, and the jewelry store also went out of business as well. They have a couple bites they'll be announcing soon for the jewelry store, and they already have people interested in the Cambridge wine space.
Good.
So.
Would it be
that's good
another
news.
liquor store or anything?
He said that they hadn't really
Okay.
narrowed that down, and he said he won't tell me what the jewelry store is gonna be, that's a much smaller footprint, but I think the messenger is great that like, while they may be leaving, it's,
There's lines.
But something
it's-
along.
And that,
Cambridge Wine is keeping, they have 2 other locations.
Yeah.
This was their biggest footprint, and I think the footprint itself was
too big.
very, very large in the competition around here, but they're not leaving unhappily, they had a lovely time here, but,
And I guess that liquor license goes back to us, right?
No,
No?
it's theirs.
It's theirs? They have to sell that.
But it's not consumption, it's only retail. so-
Retail.
Okay, so that concludes my mayor's report. Now, I'm gonna turn to Mr. Pollock.
Finally, this is it.
Yeah,
The moment you're
do
welcome.
you wanna stand up?
Don't let us down.
I do present better when I'm standing, but I will sit. We had a visiting day yesterday at camp, so I did a lot of walking on the moment. All right, so it's gonna be a little lengthy. I will send you the bullet points via email.
Back to the tape too.
Exactly. Oh, that's true. I forgot we're on literal record. All right, so I'll start with Board of Health and water. Just quick administrative topic. On June 30th, we had the latest Q2 Board of Health meeting. It was a relatively unremarkable meeting, nothing to report. Everything was approved unanimously, and we moved on. Water. I'll start from the beginning. In the beginning of the season, we all received notice that given the state of the water supply, Woodcliff Lake was put on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday watering schedule. Typically, in a normal year, it's based on sort of your address, an odd even type of approach. This year it was put on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. On July 2nd, a emergency proclamation was declared by the mayor of Park Ridge, Mayor Mashagna, citing that all lawn irrigation systems, there was a couple other restrictions in there, were to cease operations immediately. Essentially, you could not water your lawn due to a water emergency. Subsequently, if you remember, during July 2nd and the subsequent days, there was a heat wave. We had temperatures eclipsing 100 degrees for several days in a row, followed by several days of pretty intense rain. So to the discerning eye, you'd say, well, we've had a lot of water at that time. The drought level for the majority of the municipality was at a D1. It's on a 5-point scale, D0 up to sort of D5. So yes, it's dry, but not dangerously so, not abnormally so. So a lot of questions sort of came up amongst the council of what's going on. Why do we have an emergency? There were only 3 municipalities in the state of New Jersey from what we understand, that had actually gone to the lengths of water prohibition. So what is going on with the state of our water supply? Council President Stern and myself, along with Administrator Padilla, Borough Clerk Dakin, our Office of Emergency Management, and Department of Health Chair Ralph Morassi. Never get that right either. Attended a meeting with several members of the Park Ridge Water Utility, including their new superintendent, mayor, their council liaison, Councilman Mintz, as well as some external experts from H2H Water. They are the hydrologists, I should say, I'm sorry, who work very closely with Park Ridge Water Utility. They are supporting them in their PFOA abatement to really understand what is going on. Our principal concerns, we had 3 questions for them and did touch on a different topics. The first being, what were the conditions that precipitated or necessitated the declaration of an emergency on July 2nd? What is the current condition of our water supply? And third, while we were all there, we had received letters, I believe in 2025, that a substantial number of lines, water mains throughout the municipality and Woodcliff Lake specifically, were on a unknown materials composition. What does that mean, and what was the plan for abatement? We started with the obvious. Why was there an emergency? What is the health of our water supply? To understand that, they pulled up a dashboard to show us the health of all 21 wells that exist across both Woodcliff Lake and Park Ridge. To understand how our water supply works for Park Ridge Water Utility, of which we are fed, there are 21 wells throughout the municipalities. In the middle of the night, they are pulling water from underground aquifers that come underneath Woodcliff Lake. Believe it or not, we do not get our water from the Woodcliff Lake Reservoir. That feeds downstream to towns like Oradell and down to the treatment plants downstream. Those 21 wells pull up water, put them in 3 sets of storage tanks. We have one here in Woodcliff Lake at Holly Court. There's one behind Park Ridge, Borough Hall, and the third one in Westridge, and Park Ridge. Perfect. So there are 3 sets of them. There are 2 sort of cylindrical things. The reason those exist is just a little bit of fluid dynamics. Water is pumped up in the middle of the night. They are stored in those tanks, and those tanks create pressure for us every time you turn on the faucet, flush a toilet, turn on a fire hydrant if needed. What was happening, if you look at the telemetry, every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, particularly during this heat wave, the line would just bottom out. We were losing, I believe it was 8,000 gallons a minute of water from that tank, because everybody's irrigation system was set to go off pretty much the same time at 3 o'clock in the morning. This was not just a Woodcliff Lake issue. This was not a Park Ridge issue. This is across both municipalities. I know where you're going next. Is there going to be enough water once we put in developers? I'll get to that next. When those tanks bottom out, the state of emergency was declared because a couple of things will happen. One, if that gets too low for a sustained period of time, you lose pressure, hydrants, toilets, showers, etc. Secondly, it would most likely trigger an automatic boil water advisory if those levels got to the very bottom. Think about your hot water tank in your house. There is sediment on the bottom. You don't want that sediment getting into the waterways. That was exasperated because you say, all right, well, we had rain 2-3 days later. Why wasn't it turned off? When we look at the state of the 21 wells throughout the municipalities, a couple of things were happening. One, well 15, I believe that was the number, the well that is at the Old Mill Pool complex, it's sort of that smaller building up closest to the dump, experienced a catastrophic failure. The motor completely blew and needed an emergency replacement. They worked through July 4th, day of, and the days subsequent. That well did not come back online until July 11th, I believe. It was a Saturday before we had just met with them. They were still hooking up the telemetry, but everything local to the device was saying it was pumping sufficiently. Additionally, I believe 2 to 3 other wells have been offline because of the PFOA abatement. So from a health perspective, the Park Ridge Water Utility is required to do ongoing tests by State Department of Environmental Protection and all the other monitoring agencies from a health perspective. When PFOA is found or any other contaminants, those wells are subsequently taken offline until either temporary remediation can be put in place, which is essentially they pull in a trailer, it does extra cleaning and things like that, and they can turn it back online, or a permanent fix is put in place. Those temporary fixes are not considered obviously permanent because they're temporary in nature, and as such, rules and regulations by the DEP require those quarterly notices to go out. So the PFOA abatement is occurring on any wells that may have PFOA, but they are being cleaned by any sort of temporary mechanism, but they still have to send out those quarterly things until they go online. An additional well will be going online in August, the one on Weirmus Road. It is that new building that's sort of right off the highway, that's the one closest to the road. That was built for PFOA. Additional treatment will be starting in the next few months. I believe they're just starting the bid process now for the one on Holly Court. That I think started about 8 years ago, getting approval for something like that. And they are working on, I believe, the remaining 2 wells. So the timing of the development that is planned in the municipality, as well as sort of where we're going to be this time next year, the year after, etc., additional wells will come on. This whole situation was exacerbated by both the high temperatures that we exhibited, a well or several wells that were offline, so there wasn't enough supply. The Park Ridge Water Utility has informed us that they are exploring for emergency purposes, can they tap into other surrounding municipalities? Look, Montvale is going through something very similar with Veolia. They needed to do a recent study on additional storage tanks to make sure they had enough pressure in their system as well. But this was not a issue of the aquifers having enough water in the system. It was just a confluence of really unfortunate events in terms of wells being offline and things like that. The question then was, all right, when's this emergency order going to be lifted? That's where a little bit of the disappointment set in, if I'm going to be completely honest. The latest Park Ridge Water Utility meeting was last Wednesday, and the board decided to extend that 1 week. Reason was last Wednesday, the weather was 90+ degrees outside and there was fear, what if? So they will be, I was informed they will be hosting an emergency meeting this Wednesday, where they will reevaluate lifting that emergency order.
So, Ben, thank you, that was actually very impressive, you did that without anything written, but, a little bit. But I will say, I think you explaining it was great, and I think maybe we should, if it continues, do a better job explaining it to our residents, because I didn't know that overnight thing, I didn't understand why that.
And
was
truthfully, we
the
did
case.
not know that until the July 13th meeting.
And one of the reasons their mayor issued the proclamation, for those that don't know, is because Park Ridge Water is a utility, but it falls under
Owned by-
mayor and council, owned by Park Ridge, so hence why he has to issue that. And he was very straightforward at that meeting, said, listen, we could have done a better job of communicating this. He goes, and we will try to do so in the future. And not to steal Councilman's thunder, one of the things that Councilman requested also is, and they used to come in, and show some people remember, about once a year or so to a Board of Health meeting and give a more detailed report, so to speak. And so Ben has asked them to do that, come probably the fall. So they'll come into a Board of Health meeting, which are televised or zoomed out.
But I think
So-
if it extends or we have to do it again, I think we should just.
And I think they will, I think that was the message that they
Right.
understood too, that, you know, it has to be, but that was part of the reason, we didn't know, like, apparently everybody's, you know, their sprinkler systems are all going on around the same time.
But there's still going on.
And they're still going on, and I will tell you that we have. I don't want to say issue one, we've notified folks, please, but, you know, hopefully.
It's in both towns.
In both towns, they have, as have we. I went out the other day and there's homes sprinkling during the day, which is the worst time when it's 95 degrees. And as soon as the water hits, it's evaporating. And I'm like you feel like really yelling at somebody. I know we're not going to, but I'm just saying, where is your head? Like, what are you doing? But people, don't think.
The only question I have is, they're talking about the heat we had. This is July,
No, it was excessive.
August is coming.
Oh,
I mean, let's remember, every year we go through this.
and
And so we should be prepared
And for
before the fact.
100%. And I think part of it too was a lot of irrigation systems that people have, what was also happening, a lot of the systems now are smart systems. So in times of greater heat, people will water the lawns automatically for longer periods of time. Some people were doing it manually during the day. So whereas you could see sort of a normal, all right, what's a water cycle, now it was going up by 25%, 30, 40% of water consumption because it was hotter outside.
And yeah, one of the things, and they brought it up, was that. So we said Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so even at the beginning when you could still use your sprinklers, some people were adhering to it, but instead of watering their lawn for 20 minutes, now they were watering it for 40 minutes, so they were using the same amount of water just on less days.
Is that?
Yep.
Does that conclude your report?
I have a couple other things if I
Okay.
may, Mayor. Unrelated to the, I get 3 minutes. I'm thinking Council President Stern's time.
I didn't take it there.
All right, so a couple other things, just on random topics for the different committees that I'm on. I just want to advise the council and the community. We did receive earlier today our updated tax rate for the municipality. So you remember 1 or 2 meetings ago, we approved our budget for 2026. The municipal tax rate for 2026 will be 2.169. That is down from our municipal tax rate in 2025, which was 2.186. So overall improvement, again, on the municipal tax rate. There are 3 other taxing authorities, local schools, high school, as well as the county that comprise your tax bill. Your tax letters will be coming out.
I can update.
Okay, that will be,
Sorry, I
Yeah,
spoke with
please.
the tax
Mhm.
collector, she had been in. She already sent it to the county who approved it,
Mhm.
went over the numbers, sent it to Edmund. So tomorrow, Fran is hoping to get it uploaded. She has to schedule a time for them to do the changes and all. She said by Thursday or Friday this week, it will be live on our website.
And then on the website.
Then the letters have to go out probably
So the letters.
in the next week, probably.
Probably next
They
week,
have to be done, printed,
correct,
mailed.
and you have to allow at least 25 days, once the letters are mailed, so that August 10th date can be extended. To sometime later, probably, I'm going to guess towards the end of August. So.
We'll put
that's
that
what
on the
I'm gonna see
website.
about. But well, as soon as we know what that date
Now
is,
from
once we know when the
letter.
letters go out, that'll be posted and we'll alert everybody. And everybody will get the letter in the mail and it'll also have it on there, but as Debbie said, as of Friday, let's say. It'll be live on the system, so you can go online and you want to pay online, you can.
Or, we can look it up,
Or yeah,
give
well,
everybody
yeah.
their new tax.
One of our folks can look it up.
excellent. All right, let me wrap this up. From the police department, a couple updates. I just want to prematurely congratulate,
Yay.
but notify 3 police officers, our most recent hires. There are 3 resolutions on. We received a request from the chief of police to graduate them from their probationary year to be full-fledged non-probationary members of the Woodcliff Lake Police Department. I believe about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, there was an incident on the corner of Glen and Glen. A New York City taxi cab went over the guardrail into the Glen. Yeah, there you go. So it's Atkins Glen. And there was significant damage to the guide rail that exists on Glen Road. There is a series of emergency resolutions this evening for the repair of that and fortification of the guide rail. We are submitting and working through insurance, but in the interest of getting this done as a matter of public safety and getting it done before the school year starts, that is on this evening. We will put out notices through the police department, but we will have to close the road for probably a couple of weeks to make sure that is done and done properly. The last one is a little bit of a public service announcement and a request, just based on the number of texts that I receive and the relative alarm that we get from some residents. There are several apps that are out there now that will listen to the police scanners and emergency first responders scanners that are out there. And while AI is an absolutely wonderful thing, it's made our lives better and it does a lot of great things, it doesn't always get it right, particularly with some of these apps. And in several cases, at least in the past 2 weeks, it has caused public alarm. Where it is scanning and, you know, if a dispatcher is giving someone a coordinates of a particular street and dead end, it is translating that as dead body. Or
Oh
a
my God.
burglary alarm is going off and it's an active burglary. Or there was an accident, multiple people are arrested and they were not. So people then taking screenshots, they're putting it on Facebook, word spreads very quickly. So my advice and request to everybody, please don't believe everything you read on the internet, take it with a grain of salt. And third, and most importantly, mind your own business. If there is something that you need to be notified of, the police department or the borough will notify you through our various communication means. I would encourage everybody to reach out or look on our website, I'm sorry, to sign up for our reverse 911 system, both through email and text message, as well as reverse 911 robocalling. If there is any situation where members of the public need to be notified, either stay away from an area or some active emergency or things like that. But please don't take to these apps and treat them as gospel. That concludes my report, as well as probably.
Chris, you were great. You were great.
You stole my thunder. I got one more thing for Councilman Pollock. I know you've been working on the repair and the rehabilitation of the train station area. I think that's pretty much complete, right, Mr. Padilla, or?
Not stealing this.
No, I mean, either Mr. Pollock or Mr. Padilla can answer it, but
It's, let's say 98%. So the new paving was done, the striping was done, it looks, it's good. There's a couple of punch list items, a little fence that needs to be repaired, the clock tower. They still haven't finished the stone on top, but we will not be making any final payment until that is done, and I was meeting with our engineer on Friday on that, so we are, to quote as well as earlier, yes, we are watching, we are always watching.
And one note on the next, I have been getting quite a bit of requests from the WhatsApp train commuters group and other members of the public. Around sort of on the lower level, there is a new seating area that's been put in with some, what is it called? The rain garden.
That Veolia made us.
Exactly, so that's where I was gonna go. Is sort of, well, why wasn't that made into parking spots? Why do we have that? It's smart, it's dumb, it's I've heard everything in between. As Administrator Padilla mentioned, as you can imagine, this was a complicated project, and that's part of the reason it took so long. Was this is next to a waterway. This is next to a train track. It abuts a county road. You can imagine how many state, local, and everywhere in between agencies needed to sign off on this thing. And that was one of the requests of Veolia and the watershed. Was putting that into place. Now, the other question is, well, why didn't you make that into parking spots? We're starved for them. Why couldn't we do more? The angle of the driveway coming down and the height and length and width and all that kind of stuff of the retaining wall would make it that it would actually be probably pretty dangerous for a car pulling out to get clipped coming down. So it was either make it crushed rock, grass that would have to be maintained, or something back for the community. And again, there was a concession piece of it. We did gain one full parking spot with this project. The engineer tried every machination there was.
very good.
But they did develop it better, especially at the top where someone used to be able to just pull right in and park there, but that was an awkward location, and so, and now you have a true walkway from the lower lot up onto to the train tracks. So you know, it's it looks a lot better, and hopefully it's gonna and it will be a lot safer, so I hope so.
Can we anticipate any kind of news on watering? Whether it's no longer Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or shower on Tuesdays, or what?
After the showers.
You can definitely shower. And even if there was a water restriction, we don't know what's happening in your home. If it is lifted, we will notify the public, as soon as we.
But both ways, they are to notify us Thursday morning after their meeting, their meetings apparently run late, so they have assured, Council Pollak and myself that they would let us know by Thursday morning. And if it continues, we'll probably issue another, hey, it's gonna continue, if it's lifted, we will gladly issue it's lifting. So, yeah, so hopefully by Thursday, say by noon, because hopefully at the point they'll let us know, so that's our hope to dive that out.
Good. Councilman Bonanno.
Nothing to report.
Very good.
Not following Councilman Pollock, that was.
Yeah, that was good.
You said it. No, it really was good.
Councilwoman Brodsky.
Yes, so, thanks to Mr. Taylor's question about, Major Field, Resolution 26-173. It is upgrading Major Field, with turf, really to rectify a major flooding, issue that, hindered our kids being able to play on the fields, having to play in other towns. That's the part that sort of really got to me. And so this will hopefully rectify that situation, and to Councilwoman Margoles's comment about the first step of upgrading our amenities throughout town and all the fields. They're all in really not dire need, but they all can use a facelift, and that's sort of our goal and our plan, our long-term plan.
Are you considering artificial turf or natural?
It's artificial.
Because I worked for a university that had been artificial. And after 2 years, had to rip it all out because there were too many injuries. And that university was in Humboldt,
Yeah.
so. I'd be very leery of going with artificial. The university track record so far has been that it's been an abysmal failure. And expensive.
Yeah, there was extensive research with the different companies that we looked at, and the levels and what the turf is made of, what fields they have already done. So a lot of research went into it. So yes, I hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I know Stephen spent a ton.
All right, Ms. Okay, this is not open to the public. Go ahead, continue with your report.
Thanks to Dave Linko, our DPW superintendent, he noticed a couple of big trees up at the tree farm that have reached a point where they are completely dead and dangerous at this point, especially now that we have residents using the community garden. And those trees will be taken care of by DPW. So just so everyone's aware, they are completely dead. Just a quick update, conversations are ongoing with Council President Stern and myself with in terms of the folks on Claremont who butt up against the Sony project. We have a meeting this Friday morning with Councilman Hoffman from Park Ridge and their borough engineer to walk the site, looking into a couple of things that we've noticed in the documents and whatnot, but the conversations are ongoing to see what we can do for those residents. And lastly, Woodcliff Wednesday, this week, it's Gerard and Diane Barros. It's a tribute to New Jersey musicians, and it starts at 7 p.m. So hope to see everyone there.
Thank you. Councilwoman Margolis.
Thank you. I would like to thank all the residents who took part in our July 4th celebration. The three towns worked seamlessly together in the end. It all worked out great. We had a great turnout at all three events, minus something that happened in our pool where it had to be, everyone had to get out and had to be shocked for 30 minutes, but put a little rest to the party. But the parade was well attended by people in all boroughs, and as the parade ended at the Warndike Barn in Homestead, because that was where the barbecue was going to be. We got many donations from local businesses, so I'd like to thank Dr. Pickle here in town. Whole Foods, ShopRite, Demarest Farms. They all were very big proponents of helping us, and the leftover food that was left over from the barbecue was given to the Triborough Food Pantry, and people were able to take home whole watermelons on Tuesday, which I was told is a very rare occurrence at the food pantry, which is amazing. But we had a great time at the pool. We had a great time. Everyone worked together. I saw families, meeting families, kids playing together. It really was an amazing event to see all three towns work together. And the councils and the people who were walking together all discussed that we should be doing more things together, because it made it really feel like we lived in this very large community and everyone was just celebrating together, which was great. That being said, when I was at the food pantry, dropping off some stuff, they have told me that they too give out school supplies. I sent Mary, sent you an email today on the flyer, about doing a school supply drive for the food pantry with all three towns. So there's a flyer that will hopefully go out tomorrow in all three towns. We already have boxes for the food pantry in locations in each borough. Here in our police department in Montvale, Park Ridge at their borough halls, so people can drop off anything. I've sort of made it a buy one, give one, because a lot of people who have kids in the school system go out and buy school supplies anyway. Every kid might need little different colors and everything, but children need school supplies and they need to replenish them throughout the year, and the Triborough Food Pantry is very low. I shared it with Hillsdale. Hillsdale will probably be doing their own food pantry drive, and possibly Riverville. But again, if you don't want to get school supplies, they will take food. They need that at all times, so keep that. Woodcliff Wednesdays, opera was moved inside last week, and I didn't think I liked opera, but I thought it was great. And not to mention that it was inside, which was, great with the weather. And also, Tom said it's just opera, but the acoustics in there actually were great. So it's something to remember for the future, that we can move things
I am
inside.
told that, that's what you say.
That what? That's
I'm told that, so everything.
And the previous local Wednesdays, Nick DeBarry, who was the week before, he actually grew up in Riverville. So he actually, some of his teachers live in town and they were there, and he had like a teacher following, which was very cute. And actually I've seen him, now he's played at a couple different places around. So and the kids the week before were actually very impressive. So that's been wonderful. The last thing I want to say is that as people are going away the rest of the summer, and just everything that's going on with powers being off, and we've had power outages and things, please make sure you fill out a vacant home check at the police station. They do check your house multiple times that you were at. I think it's every other day or every day, I'm not sure, but I see them on my cameras, and I know that they've come there. So I think it really gives everyone a sense of safety as they are away, that the police are looking over. Plus, for the police, it's also good for them to know that you're not home in case there is an issue. So that is it. Oh, the last thing, sorry, the only last thing is based on what Councilman Brodsky says, is we've been talking about for a couple of years to do sort of a recreation blueprint to really put down things in timelines and figure out costs. So it would be great if we could actually finish it off, all of us together, since I think we all have different ideas and things that to go. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Councilwoman Marsh?
Thank you. So at our last planning board meeting, and Leslie, this goes to your point, who is watching? We are watching. And we have meetings with our developers also, just so that we are on top of, what the progress that's going on. We have been given access to a live stream so that we can all watch from the comfort of our homes as well. Which I've only done once, but we noticed right away that a few too many trees had been taken down. And before we could even reach out, Russo also notified us that they noticed that the person who did their tree removal accidentally took down too many trees. So, we said accidents happen, but you have to fix this. So we had them come in. And so at our last planning board meeting, they came in and did an amended tree plan. Or not only will they be replacing the trees that are down, they're adding an additional 15 trees on top of that. We had to adjust the size of the trees that they'll be putting in, since 8 mature trees are, not the same as 8 smaller trees. And they were very good. We have that plan. We can provide that information if anyone's interested. We went over a lot of specifics for anyone who was at the meeting about types of trees and size of trees. They also, with this, are able to actually increase the size of the berm in that location. So they're going to raise that up so that even in the beginning, when the trees aren't quite as tall as the ones that were removed were, you won't notice it. Because the berm will be higher and so the tree line will look the same, essentially. So we were very appreciative that, you know, they responded well, that they brought in the plan. They acted right away and, you know, it's a significant amount of money on their part that they are willing to put in to make things right. So far in our developments, working with Russo has been a nice project so far, and we will continue to stay on top of it. Our planning board meeting is next Tuesday, but we don't really have anything on, except we will be approving the amended tree.
Perhaps they would like to interconnect this between the water, because they're using a lot of water.
They are, yeah. But they're, yes, so we're all working.
Does that conclude your report?
Yeah.
Very good, thank you. Engineer's report is attached to your packet. Mr. Padilla, you're next.
I will keep it very brief, Mayor, because Pollock covered everything. The only thing I wanna point out is on resolution 26-173, which is for Major Field, we need to amend that to just read so continue, I guess I'll ask for your help. I don't have the exact amount in front of me, but it'll be the base
56.
amount, which is 374,508.26, plus option B, which is approximately 39,000 and change. I don't have it in front of me. So we are not doing option A, but the only other thing we need to add to that, Mayor, is that is also that subject, thank you, to the $56,000 donation or
Contribution.
contribution that
Yes.
our baseball association will be providing, which pays for part of those upgrades. So we can I guess if we get a motion, man, to amend 26-173 to what I just said.
Motion.
Ms. Margot, second.
Second.
Marsh, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
So, it's now it's amended, now we can just
Can I-
consent agenda.
Can we make a motion to move non-consent to consent?
That one and the other were on consent, so.
No, I'm saying move all of non-consent.
Yeah, so yeah, move everything to,
Yeah.
yeah, you can try to make that one.
Motion?
Second.
On favor?
Yes.
Yes.
None opposed, motion passes. Consent agenda,
That's what that is, right? No, or is this?
that was a motion moving
All the
non-consent to
non-consent,
consent.
Everything is now.
Now,
Now we have to
consent
vote.
as amended.
Got it.
Consent as amended,
Motion.
Second.
on favor?
Yes.
None opposed, motion passes. Motion to adjourn, right?
Yes.
All in favor?
Yeah.
None opposed, motion passes. Thank you, everyone.